What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And I did not expect to be spending my Friday night hopping on to talk to you guys about the Kansas City Chiefs trading cornerback L'Jarius Sneed to the Tennessee Titans. Finally, we have reached a resolution in the L'Jarius Sneed saga as the Chiefs trade him to the Tennessee Titans for a 2025 third-round pick and a 2024 seventh-round pick swap. Additionally, the Tennessee Titans are giving L'Jarius Sneed a new contract. According to Jordan Schultz of Bleacher Report, the Titans are paying L'Jarius Sneed $76 million over 4 years. That comes with over $50 million of this contract being guaranteed. And if you do the math, that comes out to $19 million per year for L'Jarius Sneed, which is the Jalen Johnson contract, essentially, the cornerback for the Chicago Bears. That's pretty much what he got. And L'Jarius Sneed makes annually now, over the next 4 years, what he would have made this year on the franchise tag. So I'm sure everyone wants my reaction, my thoughts on this L'Jarius Sneed trade. First of all, let me just say I'm surprised that this happened right now, literally a day after I made a video explaining what was going on in the L'Jarius Sneed situation. And if you guys watched that video, pretty much what I said, I guess for those who didn't watch it, is it seems like the Colts are the leading suitor. They want L'Jarius Sneed. It seems like the compensation was figured out for L'Jarius Sneed as far as like what picks the Chiefs would get back, but the main holdup was the contract part because L'Jarius Sneed and the Colts would have had to agree to a new contract. That's what a lot of reporters were saying, including Matt Verderam of Sports Illustrated. Now the Tennessee Titans jump out in front of them and they land L'Jarius Sneed instead. And this isn't going to get talked about a lot when you listen to a lot of Chiefs content, but the Titans are having a hell of an offseason when it comes to spending money. I mean, they are going all out, man. And it's kind of interesting because they never really had this aggressive of an offseason when Mike Vrabel was their head coach. It always felt like Mike Vrabel was carrying lesser talented teams to respectable records and maybe even squeaking into the playoffs every year. And then they fire him and they go out and they get Calvin Ridley, they get L'Jarius Sneed, they add a bunch of talent. They're big spenders in free agency, but that's besides the point. Essentially, what I said in the rest of that video is that the trade market seems to be drying up for L'Jarius Sneed. A lot of Chiefs fans are probably going to be disappointed in the compensation that the Chiefs fetch back for him. And even though I was telling you all to be prepared for lesser compensation for L'Jarius Sneed than you were hoping for, even I am stunned at the package that the Chiefs got back. So a third-round pick isn't the problem. I expected L'Jarius Sneed to fetch a third-round pick. My issue is the Chiefs got a 2025 third-round pick. The Titans obviously don't have a 2024 third-round pick, so they couldn't trade a 2024 third. But how do you not get a pick that helps you for this year? I would have rather kept L'Jarius Sneed on the franchise tag this year than get a pick in 2025. Unless the Chiefs plan to do something right away with that draft pick, then I don't understand this move. I would have rather kept L'Jarius Sneed on the tag in 2024 than only get a 2025 asset for him because it doesn't help you this year. You can't use it in the draft. You've now opened up another hole in your roster because the Chiefs almost assuredly will have to bring in a cornerback now because they traded Sneed, whether that's in free agency, a buy low type of guy, or maybe they draft one in the later rounds. And if they do that, I guess you can't necessarily hate on that because this team has shown to draft hits at cornerback in the later rounds or just defensive back in general. They've been really good at finding talent in the later rounds. But I am just very, very disappointed that the Chiefs could not even get a 2024 draft pick worth a damn in this trade. Yes, they have a 7th round swap. That doesn't matter. I mean, I would have taken a 4th round pick this year rather than a 3rd round pick next year because it doesn't help you this year. I feel like it was an utter failure not to get a mid-round pick in this 2024 draft, this upcoming draft. I'm just very disappointed in the package that they got. It's not the third-round pick that's the problem. I was mentally preparing you guys to be happy with the third-round pick in the prior video I made about L'Jarius Sneed before this one, but I was expecting it to be in 2024, and I was expecting it to be with from another team, obviously, because the Titans didn't have a 2024 third-round pick. But I think this does show you that the Chiefs were that urgent to get L'Jarius Sneed's franchise tag off the books. Him staying in Kansas City in 2024 on that franchise tag was not an option for them. Otherwise, they don't make this deal. They just go, well, if this is all you guys are offering, then we're just going to keep him for 2024. The Chiefs could have easily done that. But the fact that they made this move lets me know that that was not an option for them. It was just not a part of the plans. As much as all of us wanted to theorize about, hey, what if this team just held on to L'Jarius Sneed next year? It wasn't going to happen. Now, it's difficult for me to hate on this move as much as I hate it right now because we haven't seen what the Chiefs are going to do. It's always easy to hate on the plan before you see it play out, and we're just watching from afar. We're not inside of that building that Brett Veach works in, hearing everything. As much as we would all love to be a fly on the wall listening to what's going on, we don't know what they're going to do now with like the cap space that they opened up from this L'Jarius Sneed trade. Now, I know that's what a lot of the optimists are going to be saying is look at all this money that we freed up. And that is true. They freed up a ton of money from this. They no longer have to pay that $19 million that was due to L'Jarius Sneed if they had kept him on the franchise tag. And the Kansas City Chiefs went from bottom 5 in cap space to top 5 in cap space, I'm pretty sure, just from this L'Jarius Sneed trade alone. So now they have some money to play with some valuable veterans still out there in free agency that this team could pick up to fill certain holes that they simply couldn't before with L'Jarius Sneed being on the tag. Now, I'm going to push back on that just a little bit because here is my issue with that idea. All of the really good free agents are off the board by now. Like, there's some solid guys still out there. There's some guys at edge that I like that you could sign. The Chiefs could also bring in another veteran wide receiver. But most of the guys that matter are off the board by now. And so it's not like, yay, we got all this money and now let's go get this guy. It's, all right, well, you have this money, now what do you do with it? Because just scanning Twitter right now, it seems like the consensus following this Sneed trade is that, oh, the Chiefs have enough money now to extend Nick Bolton. The Chiefs now have enough money to extend Trey Smith. The Chiefs now have enough money to re-sign Mike Dana and Donovan Smith. If we're trading L'Jarius Sneed to re-sign Mike Dana and Donovan Smith, what are we doing here? That can't be the plan. If you're trading L'Jarius Sneed, it's because you see a position in which you can upgrade at right now with a free agent. You can afford them now because of the L'Jarius Sneed trade. That has to be the plan, is you're making an upgrade somewhere, because if the plan is we're going to trade our second most valuable defensive player so we can re-sign Mike Dana and Donovan Smith, that is a BS plan. I'm not buying that, because L'Jarius Sneed is more important, more valuable than Mike Dana or Donovan Smith. And if we traded L'Jarius Sneed so that we can extend a middle linebacker or a guard, I'm going to pull my hair out. You don't not pay a franchise cornerback so you can pay a middle linebacker or a guard. There's just not a lot of value in paying those positions, not compared to cornerback. So my point is, you don't trade L'Jarius Sneed to bring back players that were on the team last year that aren't as good as L'Jarius Sneed. This needs to be a move from outside of the organization, someone coming over from another team. Like, if you trade L'Jarius Sneed to sign Odell Beckham Jr., a veteran wide receiver that's been rumored to have mutual interest with the Kansas City Chiefs, okay, I can get on board with that. You're strengthening the wide receiver core even more with a guy that has been productive in the past, is coming off a solid season with the Baltimore Ravens. Like, I can get on board with that. You're upgrading somewhere. But this goes back to my original point. If the plan is just to re-sign Mike Dana and Donovan Smith and bring back other Chiefs free agents, I just don't, I can't get on board with that. I would have rather kept L'Jarius Sneed on the franchise tag in 2024 and found a replacement in the draft for Mike Dana and Donovan Smith, or another veteran that's not going to cost as much as those guys, because there's still veterans out there at those positions. And hey, if the plan is to get those said veterans, so like Charles Leno, DJ Humphries, Emmanuel Ogbah, like if those are the moves we're talking about, okay, I can get on board with that. Or if this is Mike Dana and Emmanuel Ogbah, or like Mike Dana, Donovan Smith, and somebody else, I can understand that. But you do not trade L'Jarius Sneed to sign less important players or to extend less important players than L'Jarius Sneed. That's my issue with this trade. If that is the plan, if that is the justification, is that we had this cap space to re-sign our own free agents. Ultimately, you weren't getting much for L'Jarius Sneed at this point. That was made evident by the fact that he was on the trading block for this long and he hadn't been traded yet. I think we all underestimated how low the price would be, given that whatever team was trading for him had to negotiate a new contract with him, because Sneed got even less than Carlton Davis. Carlton Davis, who is a significantly lesser player than L'Jarius Sneed, got a third-round pick in this year's draft. And then the Bucks and the Lions did a sixth-round pick swap. That was it. Carlton Davis got more than L'Jarius Sneed in a trade. That's a little bit shocking to me still. But hey, he's 27 years old. The medicals are concerning. L'Jarius Sneed had that nagging knee injury all year last year. We kind of saw what happened with Juju Smith-Schuster after he had a knee injury in Kansas City during that 2022 season, and then he went to the Patriots, and that knee is just cooked. So we'll see. Maybe we'll look back on this trade a year from now and say, Chiefs got out of there just in time and at least got something for him. So we'll see. So I'll reiterate, I will see this plan through before I make any super harsh judgments. On the surface, I'm not a big fan of this trade. I was totally okay with the fact that this team was going to trade Sneed. I was preparing for that for a while, and I was preparing for them to trade L'Jarius Sneed for less than a second-round pick. It's the fact that the asset that they got does not help them this year, and the rumor, as of right now, from guys like Jeremy Fowler, an NFL insider, is that they made this move to re-sign Mike Dana and Donovan Smith. If that's the plan, I'm not a fan of this trade. If the plan is to make significant investments elsewhere from outside of the organization, I can get on board with that. So those are my initial thoughts on the breaking news that L'Jarius Sneed is headed to the Tennessee Titans. I want to hear from you guys down below in the comments. What are your initial thoughts on this trade? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Agree with me? Disagree with me? Let me know in the comments down below. With all that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. And make sure you check out my work on ShowMeFootball.com and ArrowheadAddict.com for more. I'll see you in the next one. Go Chiefs!